Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaobman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about starting over, hitting the reset button, having another chance at life to be completely happy in all areas of your life. This is a theme that's been coming up for me because I've had a lot of clients coming to me lately who are wanting to start over in many different areas of their life. I've had clients coming to me wanting to totally start over in a relationship. They aren't happy, so they would like to find someone who makes them happy. They've realized that their partner isn't really for them anymore because they've kind of drifted away. They're no longer who they used to be. And so now they can't see themselves in this situation with their partner because they no longer want the same things. They've grown apart. And it happens. Sometimes when we shift and we evolve, that happens. And sometimes it leads us to people who are a part of our soul tribe that we're meant to work with, come together with. And that's definitely one thing that happens. Another thing that has been coming up lately for a lot of my clients is that they would like to change their career. They've spent 15 to 20 plus years in a certain career, and now it's no longer fulfilling them, and it's not burnout. It's not that. Everyone can experience that at some point in time in their life. It's an underlying knowing that this doesn't feel true to them anymore. This isn't their path. This wasn't their purpose. That maybe it was at one point, but they've outgrown that. That's not their purpose anymore. That they know they're supposed to be on a different path in life. And I understand that. I understand all of those scenarios because I went through all of them. You know, when I first met my ex-husband, it was one of those crazy things where it was exciting at first and it was very passionate, but it eventually turned extremely toxic. So that was a situation where when I started really understanding that I deserved better than that and more than that, I couldn't stay where I was. And in my career path, I started off as a finance manager, and that never really felt right to me. It didn't feel fulfilling. So that career path changed, and I became a teacher, and that did feel fulfilling. But then there became a point in time where that wasn't enough for me. I knew I was supposed to be doing more than just that. So I began podcasting and doing the spiritual teaching and coaching and helping people. And this has felt like the fit for me. Like this feels like this is where I'm supposed to be. And I was talking to a client of mine and I said, you know, when it feels like it's not a job, but it's just a part of you and what you've known, it's like you always known that this is where you should be. And when you get excited about life again and excited about the prospects and possibilities of starting over, it is exciting. It's absolutely exciting to be in a place where your life can take on any form you want. You don't have to be stuck in this place where you dread every day. And that's how it can be. You may notice when you're not living your authentic truth, life feels so hard. And for me, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it almost felt like things weren't going in slow motion. Things dragged on. When I worked in the job that I hated, it just felt like it took forever. And every day felt longer and longer than the one before it. And I would dread getting out of bed in the morning. I hated it. I would stay at home as long as I possibly could and leave at the last minute possible just so I didn't have to be there. And as soon as it was time for me to leave work, as soon as 4 o'clock hit, I was out the door, gone, bye. It's like you could see the dust in my trail as I ran out the door. And the reason is because I knew that wasn't where I was supposed to be. I knew it in my soul, and I wasn't happy there. So when you find things that make you happy, or people that make you happy, that's a tremendous gift. It's a gift from the universe to find yourself again. When I found teaching, it wasn't something I was looking for. I really wasn't. I wasn't saying oh, I need to go out and figure out a new career. That really wasn't how it happened. It was just sort of an accidental thing. I started subbing until I could figure out what it was I wanted to do with my life. And that's another thing I told my client too today is I told her, start small. You don't have to completely flip your life upside down. You can start by taking a class and seeing if that feels right to you. You know when things feel right and when they don't. So if there's a career field that interests you, why not just start small, take one class and say, does this feel like something I'm excited about? Is this something I want to do? Or if you know someone who works in that field, do a job shadow. We tell our students to do that all the time, but why not tell an adult to do that? Go talk to them. What do you love about your job? What do you hate about your job? What was the most surprising about your job? Why not really sit with someone and find out what it all entails? We will never know if something would have been a good fit for us if we never take a chance. And again, it's not like you have to go and get a completely different degree all at once. Nobody's saying that. If it feels like, hey, this is the direction that I'm supposed to be going in, take one class towards that degree and see. And one of the things I suggested to her is there are a lot of universities now that offer online programs. And they offer what's called open campus. So they offer some of their courses online at a much, much discounted rate. And it's basically recorded lectures of the professors. And sometimes, in some cases, for example, with the company Allison, it's Allison, they offer online courses that you can pay to take in their video lessons. And the courses are anywhere from $9 up to maybe $50 or $100. And to me, that's not much money to spend to see, hey, is this something that could change my life? Because when you change your career and you actually find something that you're passionate about, that changes your life for the better. Imagine a day where you wake up absolutely excited about going to work. Can you imagine that? I know some of you are sitting there thinking that's impossible, but it's really not. When you love what you do, and you know that you're important, and you know that you matter and what you're doing matters, it's a reason to get up every day. When I think about recording a podcast, I love imagining that my podcast is helping someone and that it's reaching someone who needed it. So I feel fulfilled and I'm fulfilling my purpose and my plan for my life. And that's such an awesome feeling. But I'm not alone in this. It's not like I'm the only person who can experience this. If you talk to people who are successful, most people will tell you that they love what they do. It's a mindset. And no, it's not everyone's going to fit that mold, but most people who are successful really like what they do. And that's a part of why they're successful. It drives them. There's nothing more motivating than knowing that what you're doing has a purpose. I think about the movie Joe versus the Volcano, and this has been on TV all month. And if you've ever seen this movie, it's such a weird, stupid movie, but there is some purpose to this movie. Now, if you've never seen it, it's Tom Hanks, and he plays Joe, who's a guy who goes to his office every day. He's always sick, he's kind of like a hypochondriac. And he goes to this office that he hates, job that he hates. You walk in and the office has this awful fluorescent lighting, and the bulb flickers and makes a weird pattern of light, and it's giving him a headache. And the colors of the office wall are like this puke green. They're very ugly, and everything's so drab, and it looks like anything that would be in that office is dying. The people are pale who work there, and that his illnesses are all related to the fact that he's not happy. And this whole movie, basically, if you haven't seen it, the premise is that a rich man cons him into believing that he's dying by hiring a doctor to tell him that he's dying. And they have an island of people who believe that they need someone to sacrifice to a volcano. Yes, this sounds really realistic, right? Anyway, the message is still good. So this group of people, they need to have someone to sacrifice in this volcano to save the people, because the volcano won't erupt if they sacrifice someone. So he agrees to do this, and they pay him a lot of money. So he goes out and gets his hair cut and buys all these great clothes and these trunks he buys and just everything. He goes on the ship, and the ship ends up, lightning strikes it, it goes down, and he's saved because of his trunks that he bought. They float. So he and then the beautiful, of course, captain of the ship, they're both on these trunks, and she's unconscious. And anyway, long story short, which I know is too late, he ends up falling in love with her, and he's felt the best he's ever felt in his life. And it's because he doesn't have a care in the world anymore. He isn't afraid anymore, and he isn't tied to this horrible job anymore. And the moral of the story is that he was slowly dying. He wasn't physically dying, but he was emotionally dying, being stuck in this horrible, awful job. And he didn't start waking up and coming back to life until he freed himself from that, from this lifestyle that wasn't serving him. And so, like him, sometimes we get stuck in these patterns of behavior. We get stuck in jobs. We get stuck in relationships. We get stuck with things that just aren't serving us. And we get afraid sometimes. I think we fear change. We fear letting go. We fear moving on. But there's nothing to fear about that. When you are unafraid of letting go, of just trusting, it's like that trust fall, right? When we resist it, if you were to fall forward and you tried to resist it, you might put your hands down in front of you and you'd probably break your wrist. In fact, I think I heard a nurse one time say that a lot of injuries that they get are people, when they fall, they try to brace themselves. So they stick a hand out or stick their arms out and they end up breaking a wrist or their arm. Where if they had just fallen, they probably wouldn't even have been as hurt. They might have been bruised, but they wouldn't have broken anything. And I think that's a good comparison to life, because a lot of times when we feel like we have to have control over everything, and when we stop trusting that the universe has a plan for our life, and we stop trusting that the universe has our back, and that the universe is working on things behind the scenes for our behalf, that's when we start to kind of screw things up. Because we end up putting our hands out there like, oh, I need to control this. And we start kind of breaking things. Metaphorically, it's like we stop the progress of our life because we're like, no, I need to have control. I need to know what's going on. I can't totally change my life. Because change is scary. The unknown is scary. But the universe will always illuminate your steps. They will guide you one step at a time. You may not see the whole path right away, but you will see one step at a time. And you can always ask for signs and show me that I'm on the right path. And when we see those angel numbers, like when you see 222 and 444 and 1111, like that to me always tells me I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I just need to calm down a little bit. Because even I can have those limiting beliefs that creep in that say, oh my gosh, this isn't happening fast enough. You're not good enough. You don't know enough. You don't have enough. And I have to just tell myself to stop. And it's usually when I find myself doing that, I find myself getting in my own way, getting in my own head, that I start seeing those angel numbers that tell me, quit doubting. We've got you. You're good. Don't worry. And I do need that reminder sometimes of, hey, we've got you covered. There's nothing to worry about. Because that's true. The universe is just asking us to trust. Do that trust fall. Don't stick your arms out. Just know that we've got you. When we feel like we're being guided to change something in our lives, know that that's not just merely coincidence. That is the universe pushing you in one direction or another. So if something has been bothering you, if you have had a job that you hate for so long, or you've been in a marriage or a long-term relationship that you know you don't like, you know it isn't good for you, you know it's making you miserable, the universe is telling you, it's time to move your feet. It's time to do something. And I think that this client that I worked with the other day is so incredibly brave. Because after so many years in one profession, she just decided that she knew that her intuition was telling her it's time to move on. And she actually listened and took this leap. And she was scared and came to me for guidance and said, did I do the right thing? And immediately what came out was, yes, you did exactly the right thing. You followed your gut. You listened to your intuition, and the universe is going to reward you for that. You're going to have a very rewarding career because you decided to follow your heart, what you knew was right. And that's so brave, and so many of us don't do that. We don't do that because we allow fear to tell us all kinds of things. We're not good enough. It's too late in our lives. It's going to be too much work. It's going to be challenging. Other people may get hurt. That's a big one. There's a guilt one if I ever heard it. So many people I hear who are married, have children. They stay together for the children, and I understand wanting to do that. But when you're in an unhappy relationship and you're staying together for your kids, you're still showing them and teaching them about love. But what you're teaching them is that it's okay to accept less than what you deserve. That it's okay for you to be unhappy. That it's okay for you to be treated in a manner that's less than fair. You're teaching them what you're probably not wanting to teach them and not even realizing it, because we don't teach our children just by what we tell them. We teach them through what we show them. So if you're staying in an unhealthy, unhappy situation, you're still teaching your children. Think about that. And in the same way, if you have children and you're thinking of changing careers, you're also showing your children that it's never too late to live your dreams and to go after your dreams. I can tell you that I think it was incredibly fortunate of me to have parents who decided to change careers late in life. I was in high school when my parents both decided to change careers. My mom became a teacher and my dad a nurse, and it taught me a lot. It taught me that it's never too late to have the life you want to have. It's never too late to go after your dreams, to start over. And a lot of people see starting over as a scary thing, as a bad thing. Like, I don't want to have to start over. But I think it's kind of exciting because you can be anything you want to be. You can redefine your whole life. And that's exciting. If you're not happy with where you currently are or what you're currently doing or who you're currently with, think about how exciting it could be to finally have what you want. If you're with a partner who doesn't value you, can you imagine being with someone who thinks that the moon and the sun just revolve around you? That every day begins and ends with you, who just thinks you're amazing? What a change that would be. Same thing, what if you decided to change your career, and a career that once made you feel dread now filled you with excitement? And it's possible. All things are possible. You just have to be able to envision that it is and believe that it is. And just take that first step, whatever that step might be. Well, I wanted to pull a card for you guys today before I left. So the card I pulled for you is from the Crazy Sexy Love Notes deck by Chris Carr. And it's time to rise. No matter what's happening in our lives, we always have the potential to rise above it. Rising is one powerful choice away. Rise out of our negative thoughts or our limiting beliefs. Rise out of our comfort zone or our complaints. Rise out of our slump or out of the potato chip bag. Get up and rise. What are you waiting for, darling? I love that. And I can't even think of a more perfect message to go with today's podcast. And I honestly I don't synchronize the card messages, but wow. Really, it's time for you to rise. It's time for you to rise up and step into your power, just as the universe has been asking you to do, and to show the world, look, here I am. I am stepping fully into my power. I am living my higher purpose, and I am so incredibly happy. And I'm not saying to you that it's going to be a cakewalk and that there aren't going to be challenges, but what I'm telling you is, number one, it's worth it. And number two, you're always supported. The universe is always here to help you. Well, I want to thank you for listening. And as always, if you enjoy my podcast, please share it with others. Please subscribe and leave feedback from wherever you're listening. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate some stars. If you'd like to work with me, don't hesitate. Go to my website, melissaoatman.com, and check out all of the services that I offer. And then when you're ready to book, you can email me at melissaoatman77@gmail.com. You can call me, text me, message me on Facebook or Instagram, or even message me from my website. There's so many ways to get a hold of me, and all of my information is in the description to this podcast. You can follow me on social media. Join me on my Facebook Lives on Mondays at 5:30 this Central Time, where I go live to do a reading to give you helpful insights and messages from the universe to help you in your everyday life. I want to thank you so much for being with me today. Also, if you subscribe to my website, you will receive a free morning and evening meditation, just as a gift from me to you. I want to thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you will have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.